back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Doctor Who yet again from 2005 to 2022, and today we're taking a look at Season 4, which is the last one of David Tennant's run. He had a good 3 seasons, and he had a good 3 sidekicks, and for this one, we have Donna Noble taking up the sidekick role with Episode 1. Donna reunites with the Doctor from her Season 2 appearance in the Christmas special, and she continues to follow him through Pompeii, to the planet of the Oods, to Sontaran, to like a fucking alien planet, to seeing the Doctor's daughter, to having a giant wasp attack like a very rich family in England, a double-parter halfway through the season this time at 8 and 9, because this is the longest Doctor Who season by far, with the Who Turned Out the Lights in the library. We then have Midnight, we have Rose Tyler coming back in 11, we have Daleks coming back, we have Cybermen coming back, we have the one of the scariest episodes as well, with the waters on Mars, and then we also have the End of Time Part 1 and 2. So this season has a grand total of like 18 to 19 episodes, all roughly around an hour each. So these are the longest episodes of the Doctors, and again, you can watch this in a day. You're not going to get much sleep, but it is doable, and it is so fucking good. This Doctor's send-off, David Tennant's send-off, is insane. It is the first time I've ever cried watching a Doctor Who episode. This is my first, well, in chronological order, that is, but this is the goodbye to David Tennant, and it is so sad, it is so upsetting, and his pure emotion when leaving, his cries, like you can feel the pain in his soul that he's having to give up something cool. You know he felt sad, you know that he hated leaving Doctor Who, you know that he was feeling a lot of emotions when this actually happened, because of how he was acting. Like, that wasn't acting, that was his true emotion coming through. Waters on Mars is a fucking terrifying episode with people like splurging out water from their mouth and their face and their skin turning to like this rock. It's fucking terrifying. And again, it gives that sort of balance to Doctor's sort of quirky, happy, upbeat sort of personality to like a terrifying villain which he has to go up against. We have like quite a few double-parter episodes here, with the first one being the silence in the library, the second one being to do with the Daleks, and then the final one, which is the send-off to Doctor Who. So this is where I believe Doctor Who starts to become chronological and starts to have this story-driven narrative, because again, we have to say goodbye to another one of the Doctor's sidekicks in Jones, and another character being welcomed, but she isn't sort of being welcomed in the terms of how we normally get introduced to another character, because we've already seen her before. And again, back to the chronological order with the last Christmas special where she had a wedding which the Doctor had to try and save her from, and now she's coming back into Doctor Who for the first time. She does come back in 2022 for another reuniting, and the science in the library is our first hint of the future of Doctor Who here, with obviously River Song. And River Song is actually Amy Pond's daughter, and she picks up a much bigger role in the next season. But this episode was still really creepy, with the darkness taking over these guys and killing them and making them these skeletons in these suits with the like Who Turned Out the Lights. And I thought they were like a really iconic villain. One that doesn't reappear over and over again, one that doesn't sort of keep coming back like the Cybermen and like the Daleks do in this season, but it's like a good one because, like, they're iconic. It's like scary, it's interesting, and it's unique, something that we haven't seen in Doctor Who before. I didn't like the Wasp episode. just because I thought the villain was quite boring and the story behind it was also quite boring. It was just a giant wasp attacking like a dinner party. There isn't much to go off there. Again, it's just a giant wasp. Like, it wasn't a very iconic villain, and it wasn't that intriguing. We do have an episode called The Next Doctor, which is where the Doctor meets another Doctor, or what should be the future Doctor, but he doesn't actually come back ever again. So I don't know if this episode got retconned or what, because it's another Doctor. And the way that I saw this episode and the way that I watched it, it was like he was supposed to be the next Doctor, which he isn't. He just never shows up again. So is he a different character? Is he supposed to be one of the past Doctors? But obviously they couldn't get that actor, so they had to get someone to protect. I don't know. I don't know who this guy was supposed to be. And again, this being one of the longest seasons, there is a lot to talk about and a lot to deep dive. The practical effects have improved so much. Like, these sort of space costumes look so good. And again, this season came out in like 2008, so I was like 6. I think 5, 6. I don't know. I was getting to like fully functioning human. I was becoming cognitive and like developing a brain at that point in time. And again, like, this is really one of my most iconic seasons because it's one that I remember, it's one that I grew up watching, and it's one of my first ever Doctor Who seasons. And again, I said this in the past 3 videos, I did keep this one in like a binder. I had the DVD for it, and the adipose were adorable, and I had all the figures for this season as well, with the Daleks and the ghost people, and it's just a really interesting season, and it's what actually developed my love for Doctor Who, because the acting in it is brilliant. And again, like I said, everything is slowly improving over time because the budget grew for Doctor Who. Just with everything, and this is where they started to get a real direction for where they wanted to take the story. Because with Matt Smith, the story really took over and really took like everyone by surprise, or it took me by surprise because it definitely came more serialized and into more of a sort of connected universe, into a connected story, into just instead of one-off episodes here and there. And I quite like that. I like the Doctor going everywhere and doing everything, and it all being connected and actually having a purpose that he's doing it, and it isn't just to like waste an hour and just to have a good time. I mean, for some shows that's alright, but it sort of feels like it's gone the same route as like Adventure Time, where it starts off as like a couple of random happy episodes, and then it starts to become into like an actual series and actually has a story to it. And again, this is where the creators seem to be taking like everything, and obviously we see it now with the newest episode of Doctor Who. We have 8 episodes, but everything happens for a reason, and it is one continuous story, and there is references to the previous episodes in them, and that's what this is. And I like that. I think that's cool. Obviously, the Doctor's still very witty, but he just has more range in this one. Obviously, David Tennant's acting, it improves throughout all of this, and I think this is one of his first acting roles. I could be wrong. I'm not a Wikipedia article. I'm not like a detective, and I don't know everything about David Tennant, but I do believe this is one of his first roles. So this definitely helped him improve his acting game. And again, he will forever be one of the most iconic Doctors, and forever be one of the most sort of interesting Doctor characters, because we see sort of his upset and his sort of like, because he's lost a lot of people, he's lost a lot of sidekicks. He had to let Donna go because of her mind would have exploded if she stayed with him, and he lost like uh Rose Tyler, who just wanted to stay at home with her mum. He lost like the other sidekick, I forgot her name. What's she called? Jones. He lost Jones, and he is also losing everybody. He's lost a lot of people. He hasn't managed to save a lot of people in this time, and it just shows, and it takes a toll on him, and you can see that growing throughout the season, and you can definitely see it with the next Doctor as well. But I'll get into that over the next couple of days, because again, I am going to be taking a look at every season of Doctor Who up until season 7. Because I haven't watched any further, I will be honest. So there should be 3 more coming down the pipeline, and then I'll be watching. Oh god, there's a lot. I'll be watching 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. That is a lot. That is a lot. So pray for me. Have me in your thoughts and prayers, and I'll see you all in the next one. This season, again, solid 10 out of 10. This is peak Doctor Who. It has a little bit of everything, and that's what makes it so good. We have great acting, starting to become a serialized story, so it starts to have a lot more meaning to it. We still have the occasional one-off episodes, so it feels like so it still feels like Doctor Who, and you can still have a couple of fun with it. It has all the big bad guys coming up and having a massive importance to the story, and it is a really good send off. We have equal parts wacky, equal parts scary, equal parts sort of a lot of emotion. It's just peak Doctor Who, and I love it. So this is the first 10 out of 10 from a Doctor Who series, and that could be nostalgia talking, that could be anything, but again, I rewatched it, so I have it all fresh in my head, and I think it is brilliant. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and if you do want me to do anything else, like review any other movies, shows, animes, please do leave it down in the comments below. I do have the rest of Doctor Who coming down the pipeline. I also have Kaiju 8 and Windbreaker animes coming down the pipeline, so do stay tuned for those over the next couple of weeks because it's going to be great. Alright, bye bye. Do 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 do.